Hello everyone and welcome back to Drama Made Simple. Today we're going to be talking about how you can get started with acting through a few simple exercises that you can do yourself at home without needing anybody else or a class or anything like that. The best way to get started with acting is to start developing your imagination using improvisation. I think so many people are afraid to start acting or to go to a class because they think they won't be able to do it, but anyone can learn to be imaginative and it just takes practice. So the best thing you can do is just start practicing and eventually you'll get better at it. By saying I can't do this, then you won't never be able to do it. So the best thing you can do is just to get started. Doing these exercises at home by yourself is a great way to start building your confidence about acting, and then after that you can start doing classes if you want to. Improvisation is beneficial for a number of reasons because it teaches you how to solve problems on the spot, how to be more confident in talking to people and just be better at communication. When you think about it, you're always improvising in a day-to-day life because you don't know what's going to happen next in life and you don't know what the person you're talking to is going to say, so you're always really improvising because you have to come up with what to say or what to do. It's just learning to do it in imagined circumstances versus actual circumstances, and that's the thing that people have trouble with sometimes. But by imagining yourself in different circumstances and acting out how you're going to react to those, that's the first step when you're acting. When you have a particular character to play, you want to be able to imagine yourself in their shoes and sort of think about what you would do if you were in that situation, and that can sort of make you closer to the character because you might then understand some of the things that they go through or the things that they do in response to whatever is happening in their lives. Imagination is a key concept in Stanislavski System. In his book, An Actor Prepares, he says that when the inner conditions are prepared and right, true feelings will come. Imagination is part of the mental skill that all actors need. Previously, we've talked about some other elements of the mental skill such as relaxation and concentration, so if you want to see those videos, I'll have them linked below. Stanislavski's method was to use something called the magic if to get you started with your creativity. The way it works is that you're given some sort of situation or some circumstances and you say, what would I do if I was in that situation? And that can get you to start thinking about how you would react, and that will turn into actions, and then you'll naturally have a more realistic style of acting. So now we're going to go through some improvisation exercises you can do all by yourself in the comfort of your own home. So the style of some of these exercises are from a book called Improvisation Starters, which I'll have linked down below. It's a really great book, but it's mostly for either pairs or groups of actors to be able to use. So I've kind of changed the ideas of some of the exercises so that they just be for a single person to be able to do, and that you'd be able to do that at home. So there should be some things to keep in mind when you're doing an improvisation, and that's that you have a clear character, a clear setting, a clear plot, which would have a beginning, a middle and an end, so that it's not just completely free to go on forever, but that you would wrap it up eventually and that there would be a definitive end to it. And improvisation should generally be done sort of straight away after you've been given a topic, but if you want to take a little bit of time to think about it, that's fine as well. But try not to give yourself too much time because you will end up overthinking it, and it should just be fun. It should just be getting into your creativity and into your imagination. So the first style of exercises we're going to be doing is the magic if, where we're going to be imagining yourself in different circumstances. So I'll give you a situation and you want to act out what you would do in that situation. So the first situation is that your boss has just shown up at your apartment for a dinner that you had planned previously, but you've completely forgotten about it and you don't have anything ready and your apartment's a complete mess. The second situation is that your great aunt has just called to borrow a gift that she's previously given you, but that you've given away to somebody else. The third situation is that you have a really important letter to write, but the power has just gone out in your apartment, so you can't see anything. The fourth situation is that you're the ring bearer for your best friend's wedding and you can't find the rings anywhere. And the last situation is that you've just found out that there is a crazed maniac on the loose either in your neighbourhood or in your apartment building. So the next style of exercises is that you would start from a particular physical position. So I'll give you a position that you have to get into, and then just take a little second to think about why you would be in that position or what you could be doing or who you might be, and then do a short improv based on that. And once you're in the position, like, you can move out of it throughout the exercise. It's just the point is that you start in that one. So the first position is to sit down and bend over so that your head is in between your knees. The second position is to be laying down on the floor, sort of in a star position with your arms and legs spread out. The third position is to curl up into a ball on the floor. The fourth position is to be balanced on one leg. And the last position is to get into a lunge position. So the third style of exercise is going to be imagined interactions with other people. So you can either do this as you're imagining what you would say to them, so pretend that they're there and kind of give them a big spiel about whatever the topic is, or you could be writing a letter to them, or writing an email to them, or writing a text to them, depending on what it is. So whatever way you want to do it is completely up to you. So the style is, what would you say to the person that something. So what would you say to the person that left you at the altar? What would you say to the person that stole your identity? What would you say to the friend that talked badly about you behind your back? What would you say to your boss that you're asking for a raise from? And what would you say to your long-lost twin? The fourth style of exercise is sort of like a fill in the blanks. So you're going to have a starting setting that you have to imagine that you're in this setting, and a finishing setting. Again, you have to imagine that you're there. And the idea is that the story that you come up with should fill in the blanks of what's going on. The first exercise is you're going to start in a library and you're going to finish in Alaska. The second exercise is that you're going to start in Santa's workshop and finish in a jungle. The third exercise is that you're going to start in a cave and finish in a pizzeria. The fourth exercise is that you're going to start in a clothing store and finish in a bowling alley. And the fifth exercise is that you're going to start off in a farm and finish in a nightclub. So the last style of exercise that you're going to do is starting with a line of dialogue. The way it should be is that you're sort of doing a monologue, so acting or speaking out by yourself. You don't have to have the line of dialogue as the first line, it just has to appear somewhere in what you're saying. So the first line of dialogue is, "It was the worst experience of my life." The second line of dialogue is, "And then I pushed his face in the cake." The third line of dialogue is, "They had me confused with someone else." The fourth line of dialogue is, "And then all the lights went out." And the fifth line of dialogue is, "But the music just kept playing." So that's all I have for you guys today. Please let me know which style of exercise worked best for you, and if you wanted me to do any more versions of the exercises, I definitely could. Just let me know in the comments below which ones you'd like to see more of, because they're really fun for me to do as well. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.